Small Town Cards wrote, "We know you're buying Haunted Hoops cards because you can't wait for the next iteration of Hoops to release." And I'm going to interject here to say, no, that is not true. I am not buying Haunted Hoops cards. I bought one at a card show because it was a great deal. But with that being said, he wrote, "How do you feel about the January 2025 release date to kick off the 2024-25 collecting season? And how do you feel about the possibility of Hoops Gold vinyl parallels being teased?" So I'm pulling up the Hoops sell sheet here, or the product details, and I'll just say I absolutely hate the timing of this whole thing. As much as I rag on Hoops, one of the things that I really liked about it was the fact that it came out early in the season. Like, a lot of times we would get it in October. I know it kind of crept into November some years, but typically we would get it pretty early on. That was great for me when I was getting in-person autographs on a regular basis, because I'd see teams early in the season. I'd have a good standard release to get signed. And really, by the time this one comes out this year, I will have seen the Pacers 3 times in 3 different arenas. And I really haven't had stuff for Johnny Furphy or Enrique Freeman. I mean, yeah, I know there's instant cards, or I can make custom cards, or one of them, I think Enrique Freeman's in some of the Bowman U stuff. I just want a good standard base rookie of these guys to get signed. So I absolutely hate the timing of all this. I am looking forward to Hoops, though, because I do like just the in-game photos. I like the inserts. There's usually some great photography on the inserts. I am looking forward to the Road to the Finals cards. I'm hoping the Pacers have quite a bit of playoff-themed cards because they made a deep run this past year. So I'm looking forward to all that. I don't know how I feel about the gold vinyl, because according to this sell sheet, it's a chromium, like it's a Prism chromium gold vinyl. Not Prism branded necessarily, but you get what I'm trying to say. So I feel like that's what we should get in premium stock. So are they going to put something similar in premium stock if it comes out again next year? I don't know. This whole release calendar is so confusing. There's also some sort of a dragon parallel in Hoops this year. I don't know if we need that. It doesn't really change my view of the product, though. And then now I'm scrolling through here. I do see that we do get some on-card autographs in the Hoops Art Signature set, which we've seen before, like with Kobe and RJ Barrett and Kobe and Zion, and that ended up being a really, really important card in hobby history, in my opinion. And even now with Zion seemingly being hurt all the time, that is a card that I would absolutely love to own. It's one I probably never will own. But anyway, that set is back this year. The one in the preview showed Anthony Edwards and Reed Shepherd. So yes, I'm looking forward to Hoops. I hate the timing of it. I'm not big on the gold vinyl, but, we'll see when it comes out. That'll probably change, and I'm sure if one of my Pacers becomes available at a decent price and it looks good, then yeah, I'll probably make a run at it as well. Okay, next question. Frugal Cards wrote, "What would you do with the SGC brand? Keep as is, replace it with PSA, or merge them both in a hot new brand?" So let me preface this by saying I have no idea what PSA's strategy with this brand is. I have no objections to what I've seen them doing already. So this is just me coming up with what I would do if I was in this situation. And it might be what they're already doing. I don't know. I would keep SGC around as a separate brand, just because it seems like SGC can kind of be an alternative for vintage cards and then cheaper cards. And people know there's a quick turnaround time. If they want to send something there, get a numerical grade on it, maybe not get that PSA premium, but get it back quick, then they can do that. And then at the same time, that might keep so many cards from going to PSA, so they can have stuff graded in multiple spots, keep those times down or keep them reasonable, and keep people happy. Because there are people out there, like myself, I'm doing an SGC set, so I like the continuity of being able to keep working on that and send cards in and have that as a possibility. It's kind of disappointing when you buy cards of a certain brand or send cards in, and then that company makes a bunch of changes. I don't know. That kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like if I were to go get a bunch of CSG cards graded and they had green labels, and then they changed them to black labels, and then they changed the name of the company, it's hard for me to get behind that, even though there's a lot of things about that situation that I like currently. So that's one thing that PSA and SGC have above a lot of these other brands, is they have continuity, they have a lot of consistency, and I think even if they were to keep those brands separate, they're able to maintain that in 2 different spots. So if I was in that situation, that's what I would do. All right, Slangin' Rocks PC asks, how many arenas have you seen NBA games at? How many have you graphed at? And by the way, good luck on your Pop Chart Co. poster. And that poster he's referring to, it's something I've shown on my YouTube before, but it's like a scratch-off poster for arenas that my sister got me a couple years ago. So it's been fun kind of scratching those off as I go to new places. And looking at that poster now, as far as current arenas go, I've been to Indiana, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte, and then most recently New Orleans. I believe that puts me at 6. And then I have 3 that are no longer active that are not on that chart. So Market Square Arena, which is the Pacers' previous home in Indianapolis, the O-Rena in Orlando, but I think it might have been called the TD Waterhouse Center by the time I went there. And then I saw a Pacers-Raptors game at Amalie Arena in Tampa, which was briefly the Raptors' post-COVID home. I've talked about it before, but O'Shea Brissett's 2021 Prism card has a picture from that game. I have since acquired the Nebula 101. I felt like that was an appropriate one for me to go after. Unfortunately, I don't feel like I can count that Tampa game for Toronto on my scratch-off chart. As far as autographs go, ironically enough, of all the ones I mentioned there, I have not graphed at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, and then they weren't allowing for autographs in Tampa at the time. That was a COVID thing. Otherwise, I've attempted it at all spots. I even have an old cell phone camera picture from like 2006 where I'm trying to hand a basketball to Jermaine O'Neal, which he eventually signed. Another autographer took the picture and posted it in an online forum that I was on. So the odds of that happening, someone taking a picture at a game that they could publish online in 2006 and then posting it online and me seeing it and me being in it, right, are slim to none. So that's an image I'm pretty happy I still own. I think I posted it on my social media at some point, but I might have to dig that one out and post it again if some of you missed it the first time around.